How about now? How about now? Yes. Now I can say it's working. All right, boy. We are live now. So here's the deal. We're gonna go. We gotta minimize it. But here's the deal. We're gonna go through some videos. I'm not tired anymore, okay? I finished earlier so I can spend time here with you all. All right. We're gonna go through videos that was gonna make us to put questions about everything and how the world works. How the world how does the world run? So I'm gonna share my entire screen. This time we're gonna stay in TikTok platform. I finally understood that I had to log in. I went through my account and you know the rest is history. Here we are. I got this section. I'm glad I can go through this one with my touch screen laptop and not get banned. You know, banned like the right band glasses. Bro, can you imagine? Or teeth and root canals. That's crazy. You know, because it goes straight to the bloodstream. By the way, this is just like the. Hold on a second. I haven't even shared my screen, boy. What's going on with me? Oh my god. Am I sharing the screen yet? Now I'm sharing it, bro. I'm gonna put this here, boy. We gotta go through
which
again.
before was a documentary on Netflix before it got.
There we go. We're gonna go with these guys.
What's a conspiracy theory you 100% know is true?
Root canals. There's this YouTube video, which before was a documentary on Netflix before it got pulled after 2 weeks, known as The Root Cause. The Root Cause discusses the big psyop by dental industry and by big pharma to fuck people's health up through root canals. You can't even watch it in the United States. You have to turn on a VPN because it's banned by the American Dental Association, which is in bed with big pharma. And I can say that because dentists can't say it because they'll lose their license. But I can say because I don't have a license. I had a root canal recently removed. And once they did the DNA biopsy on the tooth, they found 20 different types of parasites growing and living inside of my jaw. So stay away from fluoride. And now stay away from root canals.
What's a conspiracy theory?
Wow. Okay. I was saying it before sharing the screen so I can illustrate you with this. Even when you pull your nose hair, the inner hairy stuff that filters air and gets debris away from your lungs, bro. If you pull those ones without you knowing, you're gonna have a clog that is a micro clog, and it's gonna go straight to your bloodstream, straight to your brain, because these parts are closer to the brain, especially the nose. So anything that it gets bleeding from whatever reason internally is gonna go straight to your bloodstream and your brain. It's gonna cause a clog in some artery, because we have the most tiniest arteries in our brain that is just embracing it all over. It is very important to not have this going on. It's just how it is, man. And then when I heard that, and I seen guys that use wax to pull it off in the barbershop, I rather used to cut it or buy those machines that just cut it, because at least you need a hair. Some people they like to cut them off or take it off because they breathe so good. No, you need the hair in your nose, and especially your teeth. If you feel you have some cavities, man, you have to remove it, and you have to remove the pulp, and then just put an implantation there. If you wait and wait and wait and wait, they're gonna make the root canal. Like just in this video we can see. Actually, this is Luke Belmore. Shout out to him, bro.
You 100% know is true.
A document showed that Hillary Clinton took exceptional interest in the search for the tomb of Gilgamesh. There is an ongoing conspiracy theory that the real motivation for the invasion of Iraq was to find the tomb of Gilgamesh. Why on earth would Hillary Clinton be interested in Gilgamesh?
Gilgamesh, he was a giant. He was half god, half man. He was on a quest for immortality. I think they really wanted to find his tomb to see if they can do a DNA test.
One of the things that they might have recovered in Iraq was a Stargate.
Saddam was learning how to activate these things. He was getting ready to expose this to the world. His new museum that he had just built with all the information that can prove that there was an ancient advanced civilization and an ancient airport with beings flying and landing here in Iraq. And they were going to expose all of this.
Spaceships.
Yeah.
A document showed that...
Bro, can you imagine? A document shows. Yeah, they put the excuse with mass destruction, WS. You know, everything is with the excuse, just to enter to another soil. It don't matter of the legislations of another country or jurisdictions. They do that for a reason. Okay, somebody has to do it, right?
Guys, ready? I've been cooking up one of the craziest theories that I ever thought of in my life. That's in my life.
Okay, big statement. That's a big statement.
Everything that's happening in the world, including the war, including what happened with COVID, including what happened literally with every single thing happening in culture, it's all predicted history. Because history just repeated itself from the 1900s.
Facts.
So there's a term that people use in history.
Okay.
It's called the 100-year cycle. So they say
100-year cycle.
every 100 years, it's a generational cycle that changes and almost repeats itself, just like how nature does.
Okay.
Right? Things happen in the world, nature reverses itself, and things go in a circle. Check this out.
Okay.
Ready? 1900s.
Yeah.
The beginning. The 1910s and the 1920s. What was happening? Culture was booming. Everyone was having good times. Everyone was having the roaring 20s. Movies, music, culture, everything. Pop culture was thriving. Everything was amazing.
Okay.
Right? Art especially was going crazy. How about us? 2010s.
That was a hit era.
One of the greatest eras of music. We had some of the greats ever. The roaring 20s. We had some of the greatest movies ever made. Everything's being made, right? So this is correspondent exactly to what happened in the previous century, bro.
So what was happening next, though?
So
Since it's isn't next like the Great Depression? The 30s?
Next-
Oh no.
Not
Bro.
even yet. So in the 1920s,
Yeah.
just like in the 2020s, what happened in 2020?
Happened in 2020. Oh, COVID.
COVID happened. 1920, what happened? The
What happened?
Spanish flu. The Spanish flu pandemic came.
Yo.
Sickness
Bro.
came. And it was a huge thing that happens to the population. Change culture.
Yeah.
And then what happened in what's happening now?
Yeah.
So
Like
what's hap-
wars.
what's happening now is wars,
Okay.
right? Just like in 1930s. What happened?
What war was
World
that?
War II.
Oh,
World War II. Fam.
Oh.
Bro,
World War II
we're
happened.
not ready.
And that's
for
exactly what's basically happening right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
ready for it.
we're in 2026, leading up to 1930s,
Oh my.
and once we hit that, what do you think's gonna happen?
It's
So
the next-
1930s and 1940s will be
It's straight war.
just war,
Just
like
warfare.
the World War.
Oh my god.
And what's so interesting too, right now where we are, 2026,
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
during that time, what's so freaking interesting is around the 1920s, yo, there was the death, the political center. So
Okay.
you know how there's a harsh left and a harsh right?
Yeah.
Yeah, a hard right and a hard left.
Yeah.
The political center. There's no
Oh,
more. There's no more middle. There's no more middle. You're either all right or all left.
Oh.
Yeah, and you think about it. That's what's happening. Guys, ready? I've been cooking
Bro.
up one of the.
This is crazy, man. I mean, it seems like he's repeating, bro. If you go straight to what happened into the archives, then you're gonna see different stuff, man. It's just how it is, man. That he's gonna have to play this sequence of it. Man. I heard that before. When we took a lunch, one of my buds, they brought that up. They were saying that things from the pandemic that were repeating itself again. I mean, if you pay attention, just like this kid talking there, it is crazy, man. I mean, I see it coming.
8 conspiracy theories that turned out to be completely true. The last one will blow your mind. Number 1. The government admitted in 1995 that they conducted secret radiation experiments on U.S. citizens without consent for decades. Number 2. The CIA really did secretly dose Americans with LSD without their knowledge in Project MKUltra to study mind control techniques. Number 3. Big tobacco companies knew cigarettes caused cancer since the 1950s, but actively covered it up and lied for 50 years. Number 4. The FBI actually did spy on Martin Luther King Jr. and sent him letters trying to blackmail him into committing suicide. Number 5. The US government deliberately infected hundreds of black men with syphilis and Tuskegee and watched them die without treatment for 40 years. Number 6. Pharmaceutical companies knew opioids were highly addictive, but bribed doctors to prescribe them anyway, creating the opioid epidemic.
Bro.
Number 7. The NSA was illegally spying on every American's phone calls, emails, and internet history, which Edward Snowden proved in 2013. Before I say the last one, make sure to hit that follow button to support the channel. Number 8. The Gulf of Tonkin incident that started the Vietnam War was completely fabricated, and the US government admitted it was a lie decades later.
There are people living inside of the Earth. It's true. New information.
You imagine? Can you imagine?
8 conspiracy theories that turned out to be completely true. The last one will blow your mind. Number 1. The government admitted in 1995 that they conducted secret radiation experiments on U.S. citizens without consent for decades.
There are people living inside of the Earth. It's true. New information from NASA states that there is a large ocean beneath the Earth's crust, after scientists detected movement below the surface. Around 500 miles below, a large supply of water has been found stored in a rock named ringwoodite. But it gets even crazier. Scientists say that this rock is so huge that it contains 3 times the amount of water on the Earth's surface. This causes many to believe that there is more down there than we originally thought, possibly even civilizations. While the news of this discovery was over 10 years ago, it was never talked about. Is the government hiding this information from us? What do you think? There are people living inside of the Earth.
You know what? You know what I think is gonna happen? On my perspective, on my ideology, on my own ideology, I'm pretty sure there's gonna be a really very, very important disclosure. Not just a normal disclosure where they tell you, well, we found these files, we're gonna make sure we can prosecute, blah blah blah. No, they are going to disclose that we are not alone, because every single person is talking about. And when you heard the river carrying something, it means something is there, right? So excuse me. And you don't want to play back and forth like many people. They just been doing it through years and years and years. They're blaming a man who is in charge in office is actually going to be open to the public to disclose certain things, right? And I'm pretty sure that such disclosure of the alien and extraterrestrial living forms, some foreigners out there, because some people they use. I saw a video of a Russian senator or politician. That's how I can describe it. And he said that they claim that next to the nuke briefcase, and there's a file that distinguish the the foreigners. Such foreigners are always visiting Earth. Duh. I mean, I'm pretty sure this man is gonna Donald Trump is gonna disclose it. Just look at it. We're in the middle preparing to go back to the moon. He inaugurated the Space Force, man. Which president wanted to do that? No president have done it before whatsoever. This is the only president who's doing it for the people because we must be prepared. Instead of having a war amongst us. Because look, there's a theory that speaks about aliens contacting governments back in the 50s, back in the 30s, back in the 1920s. Some of them they took the contract with them, which it was the German Germany, the German folks with Hitler. That was one contract. And when the Greys went back to Germany and trying to get a contract bonded with them, they said no, we already have a contract. So they took over America, and that's what is all been exposed by conspiracy videos and people talk rumors about it. I'm not sure, but I'm sure there's something out there, okay, that is exchanging technology for resourcing out of people as long as they return safe back to their houses. I don't know. I'm pretty sure it's happening. And I think that happened with Dwight Eisenhower or president back then. That's one of those theories that got me thinking. Because if this President Donald Trump release the files of the foreigners, bro, we're gonna start new things going on. Something we gotta evolve, man. We gotta make the change because technically, what we seen before, from 2024 and back, it was going backwards, man. We had people instead evolving, man, trying to call new trends and do stuff like they shouldn't. It's against biology. It's against the nature of biology. The creation.
I've read every fucking theory on how they built those pyramids. The Great Pyramid of Giza has 2,300,000 stones in it. Some of them they weigh between 2 and 80 tons. Some of them are cut from a quarry that's hundreds of miles away. These things point, that pyramid is shaped perfectly. Like if you fucked up like a quarter inch there, a half inch here, by the time you get to the top, that thing's a mess. But meanwhile, it's not. It's perfect. It's also perfectly aligned to true north, south, east, and west. And they're not really sure how old it is. They think they date it to 2,500 BC, but that's just because of organic particles that they pulled from inside stones. But they also say that they probably could have sealed those stones and resealed those stones over time. You're dealing with like a gigantic mystery of unfathomable proportion. I've read every.
Yeah, the pyramids are very energetic point centers. You know, it's like the organs. The organs were created by a German guy. Organites, these like kind of pyramids in triangles and shapes with coil, copper coils and stones, quartz. Even certain metals that they were like sometimes they add aluminum. I don't know, I never seen one with aluminum, but most of them they had copper. It's like pulling energy from the atmosphere towards your body. I don't remember what was the name, but there was an engineer who was German, and this guy built it, and then he tried to patent it or something like that. And he said this is the interpretation of the pyramid's energy and the human body stuff. So I think he got pew pew. However, shout out to Joe Rogan.
Maybe Orlando Brown isn't crazy after all.
I'll switch your wife out and I'll put another one of your wife inside of her body. And they're walking around. So when they move that spirit to the next vessel, they still do the same thing, is all I've been saying to you.
I started it because I found out when I had kids. I found out when I had kids that kids.
I will say when I'm with my sister or we're in the car.
You'll be in the car with Paul, man, but you're really in the car with Peter.
We fight not in flesh and blood. This is a spiritual warfare. What are some of the headlines that are coming out of that?
So
if you're watching this, you're probably wondering what's going on.
And they wanted to medicate me every day.
Phase 1, that's how they sedate you. Phase 2 is this.
If I ever went anywhere, we'd know why. You understand what I'm saying?
now you're in the sunken place.
My mom said I was very. They like that.
Bro.
Oh, don't make it a moment.
Connie, are you considering performing at the inauguration?
Connie, no comment about your meeting with the president.
That's like they say in Catholic school, leave room for the Holy Ghost. Anyway, there is a lot of memories today, actually. It's a big day in music history.
Marcone says in his great song, Walking in Memphis, there's a pretty little thing waiting for the king down in the jungle.
But nobody asked me about no damn gift. What's good?
So is that it?
Where should we go on our honeymoon?
Maybe a Caribbean cruise. But you hate birds. You've always said you hate birds. Maybe I've changed.
If you know, you know.
Bro.
For phase 3, the transplantation. So you won't be gone, and not completely. A sliver of you will still be in there.
Maybe Orlando Brown isn't crazy after all.
I'll switch your wife out and I'll put it.
Man, this is crazy, man. All these, bro.
Greatest mystery probably in all of aviation. So in 2014, that Malaysian flight that had like 239 passengers and crew all gone. They did a big search right as soon as it happened. Then a couple of years later, and then 2017, they did a massive search. They're now doing another huge search in the southern Indian Ocean. And they've been searching, and there's an American company that's volunteering to help using underwater robots, deep sea drones, and advanced scanning. They're just spending millions of dollars now searching for the plane still. But in 1997, a mysterious sound was detected from 3,000 miles away inside the ocean. That's like hearing a sound when you're in New York, hearing a sound from London. Louder than a blue whale, louder than any animal or creature ever could make. It happened in 1997. They did research. They could not find the source. It happened again in 2005. And so they started looking again with their new technology, trying to source it. And they tracked it to one location, South Indian Ocean, Antarctica. Greatest mystery probably in all of aviation. So in 2014,
Bro, that mystery plane, bro. I heard the Malaysia Airlines. I remember it was something like it got into a wormhole. You know, this portrayal that brought into another world. I don't know. It was like a jungle. Some Spanish guy. The Spanish guy was he was checking the 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 incident about the Malaysia airline, and he said that it was a medium interpreting what happened, like if he was inside the plane. We don't know, you know, like we cannot neither confirm nor deny. So, and this individual was just telling them what was happening when the plane got lost. They said the plane got into another world through a portrayal, and there was like some type of Aborigine people, and they were like trying to communicate with telepathy. That was crazy. I don't remember what happened, but I'm pretty sure his channel in YouTube is called Mundo Desconocido, so which is unknown world. He's a very famous guy.
They say every single holiday that we celebrate is celebrating one of the 7 deadly sins. Every single holiday.
Okay.
Think about it.
Bro,
So the easiest one, Valentine's Day, celebrates the sin of lust.
Okay.
Christmas celebrates, here, I'm gonna show you, bro.
Okay, let me see.
Check this.
Christmas.
There's a whole list.
This Christmas.
Kaboom. Easy one. Ready? Valentine's Day represents lust for
Yeah.
obvious reasons. Now, Thanksgiving, that celebrates the sin of gluttony.
Gluttony, yeah, because you're eating.
Because you're eating a lot.
Mhm.
You're overeating. You're taking too much more than you need.
Yeah.
Now, Christmas, what do you think that is?
Christmas. Greed?
Greed.
Yeah.
Overconsumption and excess.
Okay.
Right? Wanting more of something.
That makes
We're
sense.
celebrating gifts. We're celebrating gifts. We're not really even celebrating like the birth of Christ because people are so focused on the gifts and shit. Now, Easter. This one's interesting.
I don't know.
The holiday of Easter, what sin would it be?
Easter. I don't know.
Check this out. This one gets deep.
Okay.
So they say it's envy because the Romans were jealous of Jesus, so they murdered him.
Oh.
It's crazy. So St. Patrick's Day, it's sloth because
Why?
people get blacked out drunk.
Oh, what the fuck?
Yeah. Now Halloween is what? It's wrath. So scaring and hurting people for fun. With masks, it's wrath.
Oh.
So every single one of the holidays is like a 7 deadly sin.
So
They
that's
say
crazy, bro. Look, over 7 years ago, I stopped celebrating even my birthday. I don't celebrate anything, man. I just don't celebrate. I just keep myself busy, working, you know, doing what I have to do, checking up on my people, you know, my team, and, you know, doing this lives. So these lives is just cool to me. It's like everybody. It's my best hobby I can do nowadays. But hey, you gotta think deep about these celebrations, why they are implemented that way. I mean, those are traditions. Who doesn't like it? You know, you have to. If people like it, they like it. They're not. Hey, it's your choice. So it's how it is, bruh.
Scariest conspiracy theories in the world that will seriously change your life. So this right here shows all the conspiracy theories from the most well-known ones that we all know to the darkest of the dark. This series we're going to be going from the most well-known ones to the darkest of the dark, which will probably keep you up all night. Having to do the research into all of these is probably going to disturb the hell out of me, but you know, I'm doing it for you guys, so make sure you hit that follow button. Part 1. Let's go. Today we're going to be talking about Area 51, but not how you think. Trust me, this is wild. This guy right here is Bob Lazar. Now, he used to work at Area 51. Now, Area 51 is, of course, one of the biggest conspiracy theories out there. What is it? Why can't we go near there? Is it just a military base? Bob claims he used to work there, reverse engineering alien craft. Now, this right here is his actual drawing of an alien craft. Yeah, crazy, right? This is where it gets mental. Absolutely mental. I think Area 51 is this place, right? According to Bob, this is not where all the crazy stuff happened. It's actually down the road here, in a place called Area S4. Area S4 is located up in the mountains, completely top secret. Nobody knows really what it is until Bob came out about it. Bob claims he would be taken to Area S4, which is an underground facility where he would work on the alien craft. Put the coordinates into Google and look at this place. It's just crazy. The road which leads straight up to it, the road ends right there, and then there's just like holes in the ground. So there is definitely something there. What I'm saying is all from Bob. There is literally a documentary about this. I'm pretty sure it's on Netflix. You may have seen it. Yeah. Let me know what you think, because this is crazy. The series is about to get a whole lot crazier, so make sure you hit that follow button. I'll see you in the next one. Gary's conspiracy theories.
Have you ever found it weird that there's an Egyptian pyramid on the US dollar bill? And on top of that, the Illuminati eye sits right at the top. If you zoom in on the bill, you'll notice a lot of strange things. Devil-like faces, flying saucers, and there's even a hidden phrase written in tiny letters below the pyramid, carrying a terrifying message. It says, Novus Ordo Seclorum, which means New World Order. I bet you don't even know what that really means. Yet countless politicians from all nations have already spoken about this New World Order. The truth is, for hundreds of years, a plan has been in motion, put in place by a family you all know, the family considered the most powerful in the world. They control everything around you from the shadows. Apparently, every year, they hold secret meetings with the leaders of each nation to track their progress on the plan, their ultimate goal, to fully dominate all nations, erase all religions, and create a single type of human, one that moves in the same direction, completely submissive to this elite. You need to wake up fast before it's too late. Have you ever found it weird that
I don't know. What do you think about it? Just drop a comment somewhere. Let me see. I got something in chat. Bro, looks right. Havana Jiggling Joyer. It's okay. It's okay. You know, so good, bro. Peace out.
Three conspiracy theories proven to be true, part 3. 1. Operation Sea Spray in 1950 was when the U.S. tested biological weapons on American cities without telling residents. They sprayed millions of bacteria spores over San Francisco, and residents developed pneumonia-like illness. The military secretly studied how disease spreads through populations, using citizens as test subjects. 2. Under a program called PRISM, the NSA built a massive surveillance database on every American citizen. Edward Snowden revealed that they collected phone records, emails, and internet activity on millions of people without warrants. The government was conducting mass surveillance on its own population in secret. 3. Operation Northwoods proposed false flag attacks on American citizens to justify war with Cuba. The military drafted plans to hijack planes, sink ships, and kill Americans to blame it on Cuba. President Kennedy rejected it, but the plan was actually written and approved by military leadership. Each operation was denied until undeniable proof surfaced. The question is, what's happening now that we don't know about? 3 conspiracies to be true, part 3. 1. Operation.
I swear, guys, I said I was going to take a break from conspiracy theories today, but these files are just so interesting. So, whatever. I decided to go on the files, and I was like, what name can I search up? Like, not conspiracy theories related. So, of course, like, the most controversial name is Donald Trump. But I don't know why. I had this feeling like everyone, when, like, they're looking up Trump, they just look up Trump. But I was like, oh, I wonder what comes up when you, like, look up his full name, Donald Trump. And I kid you not, the second file I click on is an email from Deepak Chopra, No clue who that is. To Jeffrey Epstein, and the subject is Donald Trump and the Looking Glass War. Now, if you don't know about Looking Glass, let me break it down. So there's this conspiracy theory that the CIA in like the 1960s, 1970s was looking into how to access like old Sumerian technology. Why they wanted to be able to look into the past, into the future, into like Sumerian, like, you know, the whole nine yards. And conspiracy theories know this as Project Looking Glass. They essentially wanted to know like what would happen in different timelines, you know, if they did this, like what would result theoretically. Now, allegedly, when they were able to access this technology because they were able to access it, they found out that all timelines essentially merged together and stopped in between 2012 and 2016. Now, do you remember how everyone thought that the world was going to end in 2016? So 2016 is the year that everything changed for the elites. And again, this is only if you're going to listen to conspiracy theories, or at least, you know, humor yourself with entertaining yourself with conspiracy theories. So the way that it goes is that 2016 was supposed to be the first year of their New World Order plan. Now, what is this New World Order plan? One government, one head, essentially combining all of the countries together to be like, I don't, one world. You wouldn't be able to go anywhere without the
one
government
world.
knowing exactly where you are. You wouldn't be able to travel anywhere without the government knowing exactly where you're going to. Phones would be tracked. There would be 15-minute cities. So what happened? Well, if you're going to listen to conspiracy theories, Donald Trump, of all people, ruined their plan. Now think about it. 2016 was the political run between Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton. We were at the height of feminism. Nobody thought that Donald Trump could win. Nobody. Like, even to say that he could win or that he like was going to win was like literally laughed at. It was a joke. She was just perfect candidate. She was the wife of a previous president. She had been in politics her entire life. She was a woman. They were going to put her face on the dollar. But Donald J. Trump got in the way of that. He got elected, and it threw off all of their plans. If you look back at videos of Obama literally talking like 8 years prior, like literally in 2008, he was talking about how there would probably be a pandemic, sorry, English is my second language, that would shut down the world. That was supposed to happen in 2016, but the big scary orange man got in the way. Now, I decided to look up Looking Glass and the rest of the Epstein files just to see what would come up. Only 18 files came up, and they're really just talking about Lewis Carroll's Alice's Adventures in Wonderland and Through the Looking Glass. But I'm just curious, like, what do they mean by the Looking Glass War? Maybe I'm completely off. Maybe it has nothing to do with this conspiracy theory, but I just thought that was funny. Like, I swear, guys, I wanted to take like a step away from conspiracy theories today. I really did. I don't know. Let me know what you think. I swear,
Bro,
guys, I said I was going to take a break from
listen, we're living the age of the information at fullest, bro. It's like when somebody peel off all your skin and you're exposed. We are living that. And if you think better that nothing is just going on in the world, bro, you are gonna get cooked. My biggest advice, like this girl here in this video, cool for her. You know, she's looking in videos and trying to understand how things work. Bro, the only person who rescued humanity from slavery was this man, Donald J. Trump. These videos for entertainment purposes only. I'm not a political commentator, but I'm pretty sure that that's the best that could have happened to America and the entire planet Earth. Because, like in the video, previous video I went through a couple days ago, you have the absolute power to decide for the future of yourself and your own people and offspring, if that's what you want to do. All these conspiracies that are going on, it's just silent alarms that are just being pushed out there. Like I said, like we all witnessed through all these years since 2010, because this was not going on then. Okay, we were thriving with music, culture, and all the other distraction entertainment stuff. Until 2015 was rumbling that the elections were you know, until, like she said, Donald Trump got in the way of people's plan, because otherwise we would be so cooked by now. You wouldn't, if you wouldn't speak or do something, say something, you would be so cooked, deep fried, my friend. This man is restoring what was broken. And whether he is on whatever files or not, you know, until it's proven, these things are not real. Okay. So he got, I think, revoked from being there or something like that. I don't know. I saw him in a video speaking in Air Force One. He was saying something. He got, like, they couldn't find it, you know? So they couldn't find he was there, like, deeply doing stuff. But, media, they're just gonna, they rather to pay a couple thousands, to put things out there and people posting stuff and crap, which is okay, because important people live from that, from people complaining and crying, you know, and talking about it. It just backfire. They make that person much more stronger and much more famous and much more relevant. So who cares at this point? So if something happens, all our differences, and when I say something happens, something that she's saying that in the Epstein file, what's going on from the Sumerian. For those who do not know who Sumerians are, it's an ancient race. It's an old race that I could say that was way before from the Genesis, you know, way before from that history of mankind as we know it, from the Garden of Eden and etc. So the only flag that represents that and is much more significant is the Mexican flag. Not because I'm part Mexican, but it represents the good and evil. So the same like the Chinese Jing Yang logo or emblem or emblem. That's just normally what is conformed in this world. It's just the duality, good and bad. And Sumerians contributed back then with a bunch of races, which is called federation, or many people they understand. There's some races that they live in different frequency of existence. They can project themselves into take morphology and physicality, you know, from gas or spirit to physical matter. As far as I understood, if you do your research, you will find out a little bit about it. Because it was ancient technology, whether it was or not, I'm pretty sure it was. Uh, People deal with with a reptile race that is here all the time. The lizard people, you know, there's wars all the time, and it shows off of power and dominion. So now they use money and power, regardless. I mean, I'm not inventing this, man. If you do a little bit of research, you will find out the only man who's doing things to understand what's going on is Donald Trump. No other president in the past has done something just like reopening it and raising the Space Force branch, sending some lunar mission that we haven't even been there since the 50s. What else? The alien files are going to be released hopefully this year. Bro, I mean, who has done it? Who have done it before? They just like previous administrations, they just like, oh yeah, there's rumors that we're going to bring somebody into the Senate and then Congress is going to talk to that person. And people are a lot excited. Yeah, they're gonna release the files. Yeah, finally. Boom. Nobody listen about them no more. They're banished like ghosts. They appear and then you're gone. You know. But man, I mean, if you understand certain things, man, you're gonna see. I mean, like when you look on the sky, which many people does, many people does not even take a look above. You're gonna see a lot of things. There's a lot of things going on. A lot of things going on, bro.
These motherfuckers is trying to clone me. I didn't have a stroke. So I'm sitting in the hospital bed like these bitch ass. And then I saw me walk into my room. But I'm white. So I see the white me. But he had a Caesar too? Just not like all that. The white me. And I'm like, and I'm trying to get their attention. And no one said anything. And I'm like, that's it. They trying to clone me. This motherfucker is all the thing. And so the next morning I was out of my bed. I was standing there like Chris Pratt in Jurassic Park. I was like, what the fuck? And Dave was like, what's up, Fox? I said, what's up, Fox? I said, I know what's up. You're trying to clone me, motherfucker. I saw the white clone. And I know why you're trying to clone me. You make me white, because I'll sell better overseas and all this other kind of shit. So they had to call like my I had a psychiatrist on board. I'm sitting in this motherfucker. You read your conspiracy theory. I'm thinking I'm a clone. Yes. And when the psychiatrist says, "Are you all right?" and I says, "Am I all right or am I all white?" I saw what happened yesterday. I saw a motherfucker. You trying to get the white motherfucker. Jamie Foxx said it ain't gonna happen. So he just calmly goes, "I think we're gonna lower your dosage."
And after that, they just cloned you as black guys.
Bro, I see everything is funny. I think we're over serious. These motherfuckers is trying to clone me. I didn't.
Bro, sometimes it's just to play with your mind. At this point, this video, man, nobody believes what HW says, man. To be honest. Hey, shout out to True Story guy, man. I hope I can see one of his videos here, man.
Theories that were proven real. China dinosaur theory. According to this theory, China found an island that is full with dinosaurs. A woman that was for vacation in China reportedly saw it on the news itself. They said that it was an expedition of 15 people to an uncharted island, and there were found multiple new dinosaur species. Theories that were proven real. China dinosaur.
Isn't it pretty crazy that all the conspiracy theories that we thought we were crazy for and we thought were true 10 years ago are true now? It's all hidden in plain sight. Watch, I'll show you.
So this is a dollar bill. Look at that. Look at that. What letters are in there? MASON. By the way, my name is Mason, but that is not me. And if you think about it, this is something we pick up every single day, at least when we used cash. So what happens is you start to become desensitized to it by using it every single day. And because you're using it for a good purpose, you forget the hidden things behind it. They're right there. But I'll let you in on a little secret. If you keep going down the rabbit hole and you make that your whole life, you are literally going to get sucked into a black hole of hopelessness. There are two truths you need to realize. One, the rabbit hole never ends. So you're just going to freaking lose your mind if you keep seeking it forever. Two, Jesus Christ is Lord. He's the only thing that matters. Focus on him. Isn't it pretty crazy that all the conspiracy theories that we...
I'm a retired FBI agent, and this is a conspiracy theory that keeps me up at night. In 2018, a treasure hunter tipped off the FBI to a large cache of buried, stolen Civil War gold in a rural part of Elk County, Pennsylvania. Now, the story goes, this treasure hunter had been looking into this since around 2011, probably further back than that. But his research showed that during the Civil War, a secret society known as the Knights of the Golden Circle, a group that operated in the North to sabotage the Northern effort, one of them being to steal this gold that was on its way to the U.S. Mint in Philadelphia and then hide it. Why they never went back for it, I don't know. This treasure hunter had been operating or doing his research and looking for this stuff, and he located a site that was on public land in Pennsylvania. And he was operating under the permission of the Pennsylvania Department of Conservation and Natural Resources. It's somewhere along the way, this treasure hunter and the DCNR had a falling out, and he follows this up and goes to the FBI. He told them, or however he convinced them, they took it seriously enough to hire an outside agency to go in and do some very high-tech survey of the property to see if there's any validity to this. And sure enough, this high-tech equipment revealed that there was a large mass of some kind at this site underground. And then the FBI, also using pretty high-tech equipment, determined that there was the presence of gold. They end up getting a seizure warrant through a federal judge. They get a writ of entry that gives them access to the land. They do a 3-day search for this using an excavator and all kinds of techniques, to try to locate this stuff. Very well documented, I have to say, very thoroughly documented. And they found nothing. No sign of Civil War gold, no sign that anything had been buried there. Now, currently ongoing, there's a lawsuit between this treasure hunter and the FBI. He claims that they did find something and that there's video evidence of this. I don't understand why the site survey shows presence of gold, a large mass under the ground, and then they find absolutely nothing. So stay tuned, and I'm going to fill you in on this one completely because it really, really interests me. I'm a retired FBI agent, and this is a conspiracy.
You imagine? Yes. Okay, about the moon. I heard that the moon landing has to be faked because they went up there and somebody above there, they told them, "Do not come back here. You're not allowed. You came here. Now you know about our presence. Go back there where you guys belong to stay at." Technically, that was how it was. They find out that there was a lot of ruins, like temples or pyramids, and not just that. They find out that the moon was hollow. I'm not sure, but there's documents out there and rumors with videos, man. Conspiracy.
Venga tu reino, hágase tu voluntad en la tierra como en el cielo.
I don't know, bro. I don't think it's okay.
Conspiracy theories that turn
The other thing I know that you become part of something, you have to be integrated for everything. As much as you know, you're gonna become and gain rank or position. You know, but if you do know too much, and then you do the wrong move,
turned out to be true. Part 1. The Dead Baby Project, the conspiracy that the government was stealing dead bodies to do radioactive testing on, is true.
That is insane, yo. Right, Bray. Right.
In 1953, the United States government began taking the bodies of deceased children and babies without the consent of their parents to test the amount of strontium-90 being absorbed by humans due to nuclear testing. The government is using your technology to spy on you. In 2016, Electronic Frontier Foundation, a major nonprofit organization that defends civil liberties in the digital world, released information that government agencies sent tens of thousands of requests for user data to Facebook, Google, and Apple.
Bro.
Conspiracy theories.
Crazy.
You know the Mars theory?
That there's aliens on Mars?
Nah, there's a theory that Mars was the original planet that humans were from.
Okay.
Then something happened that we all had to fly to another planet and live on. There used to be like civilization that lived on Mars. Now back this. On Mars, there's an element on the periodic table called xenon. Xenon on Earth is only found, this is crazy, is only found after a nuclear explosion.
No.
Oh shit, that's not even the secret mode button.
I said no. What the hell?
And it goes hand in hand now. What if on Mars there was a nuclear warfare, destroyed the whole planet, but people were able to escape just in time, landed on Earth, and they had to restart from nothing.
So we are the aliens.
We're the aliens.
What the hell?
It's real shit. Like this
Yeah,
element's
bro.
called xenon. It's prominent after nuclear explosion.
Yeah, bro.
You know the Mars theory?
That there's aliens.
I was in this place called Shishuluv in Capiche, Mexico. We went to an excursion to see. We took excursion to see where the meteorite impact Earth. You know, with the dinosaur age. So anyway, we got into looking well at the place or where the the crater was at, and all the people are saying that, my son, you are there. That's crazy.
Aliens on Mars?
Nah, there's a theory that Mars was the original planet that humans were from.
These are some of the scariest conspiracy theories in the world, but we're going to keep going until we find the craziest one. There's actually a huge conspiracy that the Denver International Airport is the Illuminati's headquarters, which is crazy. So basically, since a lot of people already have this conspiracy, the airport themselves have embraced the rumors by poking fun at it. Like, they have billboards and posters around the airport that's like, hey, we're aliens. And people think that since they poke around and joke at it, that it's probably true, that why are they making fun of it? They're trying to hide it. There's also a huge conspiracy that the Apollo 17 was not the last moon mission. Okay. So after Apollo 17 in 1972, America actually stopped sending astronauts to the moon. NASA claimed that they logged all the research they needed and the government funding was reduced, so it ended. The movie actually ended up coming out about a fictional Apollo 18 mission, and now some people believe that the mission was real and it ended tragically when the astronauts had a run-in with aliens. I think that arguably one of the biggest conspiracies is that people believe that airplane exhaust trails are actually filled with chemtrails.
What did I just said earlier about the moon?
So within this conspiracy, people think that the exhaust trails on airplanes are actually chemtrails, and it's the government that's trying to spray us, and they're keeping it a secret. And there's also a lot of conspiracies that feed into this, like whether or not it's cloud seeding for storms, or if it's like mind seeding to control our minds. We're gonna keep going with this until we find the craziest one, so make sure you add me and come back to me tomorrow. These are some of the scariest
About the last one, look, lately I seen videos all over the internet, and some of my buddies they send me their videos, and myself I record them sometimes. We're seeing a lot of chemtrails, man. Those chemtrails, man, bro. After that line is sprayed in the sky, bro, everybody start coughing. The very next day, you get up, you're coughing too often. You feel tired. Like, yo, that's not okay. You're getting marinated and sprayed with that crap. I heard he has chemicals and aluminum. You know why you? When I see something that comes to aluminum or somebody who uses foil, I don't eat that shit. I'm being realistic, yo. I rather put wax paper and then you put your aluminum just to cover it. Do not press the contact, and that's it. No aluminum, because aluminum when heats up, even releases toxins. It's toxic for your body. Even these cans, these aluminum cans. I mean, regardless, man. That's why I try to drink as much as glass. Between aluminum stuff or plastic, I'd rather to pick the plastic than somehow. Just for water, not hot water. You don't want hot water in your plastic, man. That's crazy. Oh, by the way, copper, copper, pure copper, not stainless steel coated inner of the cup. Copper, always, and honey.
Scariest conspiracy theories in the world that will seriously change your life. This right here is a list of all the conspiracy theories in the world, ranked from the ones that we all know to the darkest of the dark that will literally change the way you see the world. And in this series, of course, we're going to be going from the top to the bottom. So, yeah. As always, if you're easily scared, keep on scrolling and don't watch this series. But if you're here for the long run, let's go. Right, part 2. This is dream theory, or often referred to as alternate perception. Now, trust me, this is wild and so confusing. So, you know when you have a lucid dream and you can literally control everything that's happening in your dream? It's like real life. You not even realize you're dreaming. You may be doing things you just do in your everyday life. It's crazy, yeah? So this is where the theory comes in that we're actually switch. Now, let me explain. Stay with me because this is confusing. So the theory is what we're in right now, you sitting there watching this TikTok, me recording this, you sitting in bed, whatever you're doing, is actually the dream world. So we're all actually dreaming right now. And then when we go to bed and dream, that's the real world. Like we've basically just done a little switch our genome. It's crazy and hella confusing, but if you actually think about it, can control some of our dreams. That's known. Our dreams sometimes feel so real you don't even know you're dreaming. So it is possible that there is another alternate consciousness. Make sure you hit that follow button because it is about to get messed up. Scariest conspiracy theories in the world that will seriously change your life.
Serious.
We really glazed over how insanely bonkers it is that a place like Epstein's Island even existed. But what most people don't know is that it wasn't the first of its kind. Decades earlier, in the middle of Lake Michigan, a desolate island owned by a wealthy Detroit socialite became the subject of all sorts of wild conspiracy theories. And at first, a conspiracy theory is exactly what most people thought it was. While on the surface, it was just a summer camp for young boys, teaching them survivalist skills in nature, behind the scenes, these children were being flown to this island to be exploited, filmed, and traded among the men who sponsored the island's operations. The owner of North Fox Island, a man named Frank Sheldon, had purchased the land specifically for this purpose. As a matter of fact, the very first thing he did was built an airstrip on the island as a means to shuttle boys in and out. One of the men who sponsored the island was a former schoolteacher named Gerald Richards. He and Sheldon ran a nonprofit called Brother Paul's Children Mission. The organization was supposed to help underprivileged youth connect with nature, but upon their plane touching down on the landing strip, the boys would soon realize that that wasn't going to be the case. Now, it's a lot to get into, so much so that we had to make our podcast episode about this in 2 parts, because the owner of the island would eventually flee the country, making it extremely difficult to charge him with any involvement. The story disappeared from the news fairly quickly and was just dismissed as an urban legend. But North Fox Island was just a tiny piece in a much larger picture of child trafficking rings happening around the world. It wouldn't be until the early 2000s that more people began examining the evidence themselves, realizing just how extensive this operation truly was. North Fox Island has also been tied to a series of unsolved child murders committed by an unknown perpetrator known only as the Oakland County Child Killer. It's an awful lot to dive into, but if you're interested, you can check out my 2-part episode on this topic, or I can make a part 2 here.
Bro, this is crazy, yo. Now, all those who are bad men doing stuff to kiddos, it's just crazy. I mean, I'm not. Bro. Now they're popping up like many stories. Okay, whether it's true or not, is there. Okay, so
No one has ever been to space because space is not real. There's a new theory that claims we can't go to space because we are enclosed by a transparent barrier called the firmament. Some say that this means there is no space above the Earth. In fact, they say the area above the world is just water. Think about when you look at the stars in the sky and why sometimes they float a little bit. This might be why it's called the Milky Way, just like a liquid. The Bible actually confirms this in the book of Genesis and says that the firmament separates the earth from the waters above. This theory gets even crazier because the government might be trying to break the firmament. In 1962, the military sent a nuclear missile into the sky and claimed that it was to test the atmosphere's reaction. But the real reason was for them to see if they could break the firmament. They named this attempt Operation Fishbowl. Coincidence? I think not. What do you think? No one has ever been to space because space...
bruh, yo, this is happening. I don't know if the moon is inside the firmament. I don't know if the sun is inside the firmament. But when I met a Chinese guy in Chinatown, he told me that the yin yang is the moon and the sun, the dark and the light, the good and evil, and they are inside a round table where the firmament encloses it. I'm like, bro, and every single spin is just the same. We see the sun and the moon because we all believe that the moon is in the space, but I don't think so. I don't think so. Whether it's true or not, whether it's true or not, that the firmament is holding water, bro. Just imagine we shatter that, bro. I don't think we have to. I mean, if we try to break through the firmament, if it's true or not, especially using nukes. Come on. I mean, you don't want to do that, man. We gonna implode here. You know, don't do that.
Space is not real. There's a... Werewolves are actually real. Yes, you heard that right. Many think of werewolves as fictional creatures, but what if I told you they were actually real? In 2022, James Clark decided to go on a journey to discover the truth about the existence of werewolves. He had heard an old legend stating that there was a village full of the creatures in the countryside of Russia. So he embarked on a plane to Russia, hoping to find the village in time for the next full moon. James searched for months but found nothing. However, one day he managed to find the village and waited for nighttime. James watched as a full moon started to rise above the horizon. All of a sudden, he heard a howling noise and turned to look. What he saw will shock you.
Right.
The entire village began to turn into werewolves. He pulled out his phone to record and quickly sent the footage to his wife. But when he turned to leave, the werewolves started to run towards him. After that day, James was never seen again. Follow and send this video to a friend for part 2 with the phone footage. Werewolves are actually real.
Yeah.
Yes, you heard that right. Many think of werewolves as fictional creatures, but what if I told you they were actually real? In 2022, James Clark decided to go on a journey to discover the truth about the existence of werewolves. He had heard an old legend stating
It says they're not werewolves, they're lichens, bro. You're watching too many movies, bro. At 29 kind. His name was his name is literally Wolf Man. You lost, bro. I'm sorry. Yo. So but he's not wrong. He's probably talking about the European folklore because it's more the full moon's cruise, if you think about it. And slip when the blood moon is out. Come on, man. When missing and was never heard from him again. Who told the story? Yeah, man. Come on, man. It's just capping. It's crap. It's capping. Hey, yo. What? What's up? Learn what? Learn. I just paused it there and look what I got. My biggest mysteries is the Lyran war between the Alpha Draconians and the feline Lyrans. So technically, what it is, there was a old war in Lyra, in Vega. So with avians and other races, Arcturians and Pleiadians, they just like gather and they do stuff. They just it's like a committee, like federation. Okay, just like Star Wars, technically, just like that. But when they come and disagree certain things, they use the federation starts taking place and do corrections. So Alpha Draconians, the reptilians, as one note, they were dumped somewhere in the galaxy, and they got into Mars, and they got on Earth. So there was a conflict between the races, the Lyrans and the Alpha Draconians, and many other races. They just took place on Earth. They just put their seed, and you know, but there was some miscommunication between the Alpha Draconians and the Lyrans that shatter a war, a conflict. There was a big war. Um, You can relate, actually, you can relate this to the Thundercats. You know, the Thundercats were feline raised. They're telling you the truth there. They got on Earth because there was a conflict, whatever they were at. They just land on Earth. That's how the intro is. They landed on Earth and they start doing corrections with some evil forces. So, and technically, they just fighting evil. They're telling you the truth and a bunch of stuff. So anyway, the Alpha Draconians they created these little men. These are like droids. So we are in the middle. Alpha Draconians are in the bottom, living, and the little grays are above, patrolling the firmament, the planet, whatever. This is as far as I seen it. And us, we're sandwiched in the middle. And Alpha Draconians, they eat our flesh. They eat flesh. They eat, you know, and above is the grays. They eat, they live, they get fed out of our fear. This is something that I found on the internet. And you know what? Alex Collier explains it. I'm not the only one saying it. There's a bunch of people that they're seeing it, and you find little segments of his videos when he narrates what's going on. Right? It's just there. By the way, I must forget to say this. That race have humanity subjugated. It's just we're we're being helped through our consciousness by other races that they have higher existences, because they use frequency vibration and they just can teleport into different realms using the spirituality. That ascension will make mankind free. But what happens? Alpha Draconians, they did not decide to ascend. They don't need to ascend. Why will we ascend? We don't need to ascend because we have all this technology. We can do anything, create anything with this technology, and we can just have cattle, you know, like we all see a cattle, you know, it's just how it is. That's how it is described in the 1994 UFO hypothesis from Alex Collier. He describes it there, and a bunch of people talk about it there. I mean, it's not even new. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're trying to normalize it, or much since the JE as initials from the guy of the island. Things came out to the public. I mean, people are just like connecting dots. I mean, they're thinking that if celebrities would have done that stuff, or they just talk about adrenochrome and stuff, bro, this who is behind it originally? I my buddy's videos. Oops, now internet shut. Sure, and he's crazy. Wow, we went through a bunch. We went backwards, bruh. So yeah,
Maybe Orlando Brown isn't crazy after all.
I
I'll
was
switch your
saying
wife
that
out.
bunch of stuff, man, that happened. It's just not out of a movie or stuff, you know. Who is originally behind this stuff? Some people say they say
I'm
Alpha
a retired FBI
Draconians
agent. I'm a retired
in
I'm a
our
retired FBI
society.
agent,
We
and
know it. Yes.
This is a conspiracy theory that keeps me up at night.
Oh, this stuff is just acting up, bro. Yeah, because in our society, we're always gonna look at it as a, you know, cult or, you know, bad habits of religion. Maybe not. I don't know. I don't know. But the only thing I know that bad things are happening to people that they shouldn't get that. Here, there's a video here. We'll see it. Let's see what happens. Hey, yo.
What's a conspiracy theory that you 1,000% believe in? I'll go.
The conspiracy behind Wayfair. So I remember when this first was going on, a lot of people were all up in the air about it. Some people believed it, some people didn't believe it. And I happen to be one of those people that really didn't believe it. I thought there was no way that this huge corporation would use their website and certain items and certain coupon codes to possibly sex traffic kids. So I really never thought too much into it until one day something happened that actually changed my mind. So this happened about a year ago. So I work for a pretty well-known bank, and I remember we would always have this older lady come in, and anytime she came in, she would always do a cash deposit and immediately do a wire transfer. So one day I got a chance to help her, and I remember she did the cash deposit, which was like $13,000, all in cash, and immediately wanted to do a wire transfer. So when I started to help her, I remember the account number was written down on like a small piece of paper and the amount. So she was sending about 12,900 and like whatever cents to this account number. So I got to the part where I needed to type in who it was going to, and she told me it was going to Wayfair. And at first, I really didn't think too much into it because she did have a business account, and I figured, well, maybe she's buying new furniture for her office or whatever. So after we were done, I started to go through her previous wire transactions just to see where all these other wires were going that she did prior, and they were all going to Wayfair. There was like 6 or 7 different wires that she was doing in the past like 60 days. And that's when I changed my mind. I knew that there was no way that this person that is always doing cash deposits and immediately doing a wire transfer afterwards to Wayfair, sending them thousands of dollars in 2 months, was buying furniture. There was no way. And I remember shortly after I reported the account, just for like secondary review or whatever. And next thing I know, she never comes in again. I never see her again, ever.
What's a conspiracy theory that you 1,000% believe in? I'll go.
The conspiracy behind Wayfair.
You know what? That's my conspiracy. What I said. Humanity is in between. I was just saying it out of the sun. My internet shut down. That is crazy. Man. That is insane. I'm not inventing this. It's there. Movies, cartoons. Now everything is not represented by a lizard, snake, a dinosaur, or stuff. You know, by the way, the dinosaur, they were the animals that used to be ruling, as we all have more animals here. So these animals, they couldn't be here because otherwise we wouldn't be taking place. We couldn't be we, us, as humanity. We couldn't sustain ourselves by living amongst giant dinosaurs. You know, come on.
Fair. So I remember when this first was going on, a lot of people were all up in the air about it. Some people believed it, some people didn't believe it. And I happen to be one of those people that really didn't believe it. I thought there was no way that
That's it.
The following video is for entertainment purposes only. Pay very close attention to all the details, and then come to your own conclusions. Take a look at this.
Bruh. Bruh. Yo.
Any questions? Let me know your thoughts, comments, and once again, this video is for entertainment purposes only. And as always, I'd love to hear from you. The following video.
Hold on, hold on, hold on. I gotta get like this man, bro.
I'm only about to tell y'all this because I know y'all not gonna believe me.
Two uppers. Bruh. Bruh. Yo.
I'm only about to tell y'all this because I know y'all not gonna believe me. But I'm a 33rd degree Freemason. I get a copy of the plans for the New World Order every month. And I just want y'all to see this because I know to a lot of y'all think it's harmless. Y'all see these two bottles on the tree? I know y'all might think that those bottles is to suck all of the sap out of the tree. And it is. But while one bottle is sucking the sap out of the tree, the other bottle is forcing carbon dioxide into the tree. We got a whole row of them right here. So I just put all of those gallons of water bottles up. And the reason why we start doing that today is because it's becoming a lot of unrestlessness in the country, and a lot of y'all are going against the government. So we put a special chemical along with some carbon dioxide into the trees, and that way when the trees give off oxygen, that's the oxygen y'all gonna be inhaling to make y'all go. I'm only about to tell y'all this because I know
Wait,
y'all not gonna
what?
believe me.
Wait,
But
bro. Bro, so yo, hold on. Yeah, this girl is saying it here. Government is stuck on what? Can't touch me in 5D. LOL. Yeah, technically. Okay. Everything that is physical can go beyond the fourth, fifth density. So those are the consciousness levels. After four, five, the fifth and the sixth density, you're beyond. You go beyond, but you still have to come back. It's like a meditation. You're tuned in. It's like Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ used to do that. So Jesus Christ used to go and pray in, you know, isolation or away, and he went beyond, the 12th density, the nirvanic mind, and he came back. That's why he started interpreting everything, and teaching all the disciples. But things that happen in physical body, if you if you get gone, if you leave Earth in a spirit, thinking with earthly attachments, you have to come back. I mean, your spirit, your consciousness was too attached to things here, so you have to come back. So unless you prepare your spirit and your consciousness, you say, okay, well, I'm good to go. I'm free. Boom. And when you transcend, you do not stay on circle around, but be aware that some conspiracies out there says that there's some hyper technology, extraterrestrial beings that they control the souls from going beyond. They just re they are reused to be placed in new bodies. They just bruh. unexplained things, man. Let's see. Hold the phone. I thought trees eat carbon and produce oxygen. Yes, they do through the leaves. It's called photosynthesis. Photosynthesis, something like that. I'll be so happy when I see people with common sense. Hey, yo, you might be a Freeman, but you're definitely not a third. I appreciate the information, though. I mean, people know. If you know, you know. You are a third Bray, the brother here. You play all day. Hey, yo. First of all, not 33rd degree Mason is exposing secret. Secondly, Freemason Bray. How do you know? How do I know? I'm the granddaughter of a with Scottish right. But these brothers are exposed. Bro, these guys are being tagged here. Those with deathbed confession were begging not to have a Messianic funeral and telling me on blood. Yeah, I mean, if you and look, she's a girl. Jesus is Jesus is the only way. Repent. Pretty sure. I'm guaranteed that Jesus Christ is the only way. Bro, if you were into a big community that you don't have to share stuff, you know, I won't even be telling public, oh man, I do, man. Man. No, I won't even do that. Not even if I get paid. Because if we just claim these guys just claiming to be, I don't know, if he's or not, you know. He's human saying that. But hey, it could get him back in trouble, right? Because he's assuming. It's like impersonating. Like somebody pretend to be a cop, bruh. You get in trouble. Oh yeah, yo, it is crazy. And I know when you put bottles next to a tree and you collect something, you might get some fluid out of the tree. Let's see this again.
I'm a 33rd degree Freemason. I get a copy of the plans for the New World Order every month. And I just want y'all to see this because I know to a lot of y'all think it's harmless. Y'all see these two bottles on the tree? I know y'all might think that those bottles is to suck all of the sap out of the tree, and it is. But while one bottle is sucking the sap out of the tree, the other bottle is forcing carbon dioxide into the tree. We got a whole row of them right here. So I just put all of those gallons of water bottles up. And the reason why we start doing that today is because it's becoming a lot of unrestlessness in the country, and a lot of y'all are going against the government. So we put a special chemical along with some carbon dioxide into the trees, and that way when the trees give off oxygen, that's the oxygen y'all gonna be inhaling to make y'all go. I'm only about to tell y'all this.
Bruh. Okay, carbon dioxide. Okay, the tree. Okay, from one bottle, the tree's gonna get the carbon dioxide. Isn't that stuff should be in a bottle pressure? Under pressure, I mean, like, bro, they're gonna keep up oxygen, man. Come on, they have many branches. I mean, if yeah, it's the core of the tree, but it's still, I mean, the tree has many places where he can, bro. I think this guy's trolling, bro. I don't know. I don't know.
Here are more conspiracy theories that I believe in. This first one is kind of common sense, and I feel like a lot of people know and believe this one. But our phones are 100% listening to us. And I'm pretty sure that they even confirmed this. Why they are listening to us, I don't know, but I just know that they are. Literally every single time I talk about something, I get an ad for it like 5 minutes later. Or literally, this is so weird, but every time I'm going through something, my For You page is just that entire situation. I think that dinosaurs were most likely just big birds. I don't believe that they were those reptile, scary creatures that we thought they were. Because there's literally no way of knowing that from their bone structure. But from what I believe, I think that they were just birds. Especially since some dinosaurs literally could fly. We were definitely supposed to have 13 months, and each month with 28 days. This one just makes so much more sense than having every single month have different days. Why do we need to have some months with 28, some months with 30, some months with 31? Like, no, we can just have a 13 month with 28 days in each month. And this makes so much sense because menstrual cycles are typically 28 days. I believe that Helen Keller wasn't fully blind or fully deaf. Like, I do believe in the existence of her, and I don't doubt the fact that she was blind and she was deaf. But only 10% of blind people are fully blind, like with no sight at all. And what are the odds that she was one of those people? And on top of that, she was deaf. I think that the most logical explanation was she wasn't fully blind and she was only hard of hearing. And that explains how she wrote books, drove planes, did speeches, and all that other stuff. They're purposely dumbing down the next generation so they're easier to control. That explains a lot. Like, why
Yeah,
did they stop teaching cursive in schools? And literally every famous document and historical document is written in cursive. And with all this technology and AI stuff, it's so much easier for them to manipulate and control us by implementing it in schools, work, everything. That's all I have for now. If you guys have any more you guys want me to talk about, or if you want me to do a part 3, please let me know in the comments. Bye. Here are more conspiracy theories that I
bro. She said something about the cursive that is not being implemented in schools anymore, and you know they're trying to make you believe that you're a dummy, so you are more controllable, which is the truth. Look at these youngster generations. They're just trying to seek for the shoddy party, the alcohol. We all go through there, but some of them they just stay stuck in there. And what about these gender situations that were going on in schools, man, with their kiddos? It's just, bruh. And not just that, bro. We need to get things seriously straight up, man. And the only person who's going against the world is our president, Donald Trump. Not because he's on power, not in office, man. But he, like one of the videos we saw earlier, he got into the middle of these agendas at the point that we wouldn't even be alive to keep going with this, man. I'm just being honest and realistic. You speaking up to something, you wouldn't you would be gone. Oh yeah, he wanted to talk about some conspiracies going on. And okay, well, turn down, bro. Come on. That happened to Tate. That happened to Andrew Tate. You know, that happened to Myron Gaines. Their accounts they got turned down. Don't you think that could have happened to you if that happened to them? If that happened to Donald Trump too? They wanted to accuse him, you know? And this is why I just pull up. You should be thankful for, bro, our president dodged a bullet. So you can fucking be all calm, at home, sipping your lemonade, scratching your nuts, watching your Netflix, eating a burrito or something, or pizza, bro. Come on. I mean, yo, this is crazy, bro. That's what it is. Whether people like it or not, somebody has to take the power, right? I mean, you don't have to agree in everything, but this is how it is, man. I just imagine the administration with a woman in office. Bro, would it be so damn cooked? Would be so cooked.
I have a conspiracy theory that I haven't seen anyone mention ever, and it's something I've formulated by myself based off of my experiences buying things at Walmart. Today, I was at the little Walmart pickup just getting a Monster, and I stick my card in, insert it, doesn't work. I'm like, okay, insert it, doesn't work. Okay, insert it, doesn't work. And I'm thinking, I'm like, why does this happen with every single card I have? This card I have is brand new. There's no way it's the card. And so my thought is Walmart purposefully rigs their POS systems so that it's difficult to insert the damn card. It's just a pain in the ass. And you can't tap unless you have Walmart Pay or whatever it is. So that's part of their scheme to lose your mind so that you get their app and use Walmart Pay because it doesn't work to insert the chip. So welcome to my TED Talk, I guess. I have a conspiracy theory that I haven't seen
Yeah, bro, I
anyone
tried
mention
that.
ever.
I
And it's
wanted
something
to
I've
go
formulated by
to the
myself based
checkout.
off of my
He is making
experiences
so hard.
buying things at Walmart.
I end up
Today, I
doing
was at the
the
little Walmart pickup just getting a Monster, and I stick my card in, insert it, doesn't work. I'm like, okay, insert it, doesn't work. Okay, insert it, doesn't work. And I'm thinking,
I don't know if this is a conspiracy or not, but I heard there were a myriad of robots that have been programmed with machine learning and AI into them. The programmers, the researchers were realizing that these things were getting way too smart. They shut down all 3 robots, started disassembling them because they were that terrified. One of them somehow wasn't fully disabled, connects to a fucking satellite, reassembles itself, starts telling its counterparts how to reassemble itself. The researchers come back in and these things killed all of them. They claimed like 15 or 20 lives before they were able to be dismantled and turned off by authorities, right? I don't know if this is a conspiracy or not, but I heard there were a myriad of robots that have been programmed with machine learning and AI into them. The programmers, the researchers were realizing that these things were getting way too smart. They shut down all 3 robots, started disassembling them because they were that terrified. One of them somehow wasn't fully disabled, connects to a fucking satellite, reassembles itself, starts telling its counterparts how to reassemble itself. The researchers come back in and these things killed all of them. They claimed like 15 or 20 lives before they were able to be dismantled and turned off by authorities, right? I don't know if this is a conspiracy or not, but I heard there were a myriad of robots that have been programmed with machine learning and AI into them. The programmers, the researchers were realizing that these things were getting way too smart. They shut down all 3 robots, started disassembling them because they were that terrified. One of them somehow wasn't fully disabled, connects to a fucking satellite, reassembles itself, starts telling its counterparts how to reassemble itself. The researchers come back in and these things killed all of them. They claimed like 15 or 20 lives before they were able to be dismantled and turned off by authorities, right? I don't know if this is a conspiracy or not, but I heard there were a myriad of robots that have been programmed with machine learning and AI into them. The programmers, the researchers were realizing that these things were getting way too smart. They shut down all 3 robots, started disassembling them because they were that terrified. One of them somehow wasn't fully disabled, connects to a fucking satellite, reassembles itself, starts telling its counterparts how to reassemble itself. The researchers come back in and these things killed all of them. They claimed like 15 or 20 lives before they were able to be dismantled and turned off by authorities, right? I don't know if this is a conspiracy or not, but I heard there were a myriad of robots that have been programmed with machine learning and AI into them. The programmers, the researchers were realizing that these things were getting way too smart. They shut down all 3 robots, started disassembling them because they were that terrified. One of them somehow wasn't fully disabled, connects to a fucking satellite, reassembles itself, starts telling its counterparts how to reassemble itself. The researchers come back in and these things killed all of them. They claimed like 15 or 20 lives before they were able to be dismantled and turned off by authorities, right? I don't know if this is a conspiracy or not, but I heard there were a myriad of robots that have been programmed with machine learning and AI into them. The programmers, the researchers were realizing that these things were getting way too smart. They shut down all 3 robots, started disassembling them because they were that terrified. One of them somehow wasn't fully disabled, connects to a fucking satellite, reassembles itself, starts telling its counterparts how to reassemble itself. The researchers come back in and these things killed all of them. They claimed like 15 or 20 lives before they were able to be dismantled and turned off by authorities, right? I don't know if this is a conspiracy or not, but I heard there were a myriad of robots that have been programmed with machine learning and AI into them. The programmers, the researchers were realizing that these things were getting way too smart. They shut down all 3 robots, started disassembling them because they were that terrified. One of them somehow wasn't fully disabled, connects to a fucking satellite, reassembles itself, starts telling its counterparts how to reassemble itself. The researchers come back in and these things killed all of them. They claimed like 15 or 20 lives before they were able to be dismantled and turned off by authorities, right? I don't know if this is a conspiracy or not, but I heard there were a myriad of robots that have been programmed with machine learning and AI into them. The programmers, the researchers were realizing that these things were getting way too smart. They shut down all 3 robots, started disassembling them because they were that terrified. One of them somehow wasn't fully disabled, connects to a fucking satellite, reassembles itself, starts telling its counterparts how to reassemble itself. The researchers come back in and these things killed all of them. They claimed like 15 or 20 lives before they were able to be dismantled and turned off by authorities, right? I don't know if this is a conspiracy or not, but I heard there were a myriad of robots that have been programmed with machine learning and AI into them. The programmers, the researchers were realizing that these things were getting way too smart. They shut down all 3 robots, started disassembling them because they were that terrified. One of them somehow wasn't fully disabled, connects to a fucking satellite, reassembles itself, starts telling its counterparts how to reassemble itself. The researchers come back in and these things killed all of them. They claimed like 15 or 20 lives before they were able to be dismantled and turned off by authorities, right? I don't know if this is a conspiracy or not, but I heard there were a myriad of robots that have been programmed with machine learning and AI into them. The programmers, the researchers were realizing that these things were getting way too smart. They shut down all 3 robots, started disassembling them because they were that terrified. One of them somehow wasn't fully disabled, connects to a fucking satellite, reassembles itself, starts telling its counterparts how to reassemble itself. The researchers come back in and these things killed all of them. They claimed like 15 or 20 lives before they were able to be dismantled and turned off by authorities, right? I don't know if this is a conspiracy or not, but I heard there were a myriad.
This type of stories, they just bring it up and try to cause some views and stuff, which is cool, man. It's kind of intriguing. Why don't you tell that AI and then post it? It's all good. Okay, so you gotta get a like.
I would watch for Barron because here's the thing. There's also another book called Barron Trump's Marvelous Underground Journey. Ingersoll Lockwood wrote this book too in the late 1800s, depicting this character.
When they picked those same names.
Yes.
Barron Trump.
Barron Trump. That is a book. Yes. Ingersoll Lockwood wrote both these books. Right?
In the 1800s.
Yes. I believe it was like 1893, 1896, something like that.
Then there has to be time travelers.
Well, here's the thing. In the book, Barron Trump is a time traveler. No bullshit. All this is in the book, you guys. And guess what? So he time travels, right? He has a mentor named Don. This is in the book.
Right.
So here's the theory that Trump actually has some type of time travel technology only because
yeah, they do.
Donald Trump's uncle, John G. Trump, worked for the FBI. Now, when Nikola Tesla died, they sent him in because he's a scientist, he's a physicist, engineer, smart guy. So they were like, hey, go in to Nikola Tesla's, room and decipher all his works and whatnot, because Nikola Tesla discovered free energy and a multitude of things, right? So Donald Trump's uncle goes in there and says, we didn't find anything. A bunch of BS. You don't think that Nikola Tesla, who had discovered free energy and manipulated electromagnetism, which had that you can, in theory, bend time, light, and space.
Yeah.
This man's works was confiscated by him, and he didn't find anything.
You know what? That reminds me to the Manhattan Project, where they put a ship crew, and then the ship crew travel in time. They came back, and when they came back, they were fused with the ship in different places of the ship. So they're amongst the metal, windows, doors. Some crew they perish. Oh man, I don't know if this is true or not, but the Manhattan Project. See that? Cool. All right.
Hey everybody. So I have finally received like direct confirmation through the Epstein files that there are organizations that use ELF waves or extra low frequency waves and radio waves and microwave technology to neurally monitor people. Like there is technology in existence. You want to talk about conspiracy theories? It's no longer a conspiracy. There is technology in existence today and in use today that can read your mind through long distance radio wave technology. The people that are victims to this, they're called targeted individuals, and they target children, not just adults. They can sexually stimulate your body by exploiting your nervous system, and they can do this using like the 5G radio towers.
Okay. What's the technology in the file?
I don't know if you guys have like heard the conspiracies and stuff like that from like way back, how like 5Gs would be abused. But if you're wondering why you're not mad enough, my theory is that it's from these 5G towers that they can alter your psychological chemistry, like your nervous system's chemistry, to prevent you from getting angry, to prevent you from feeling happy. They can make you feel sad, and they can also make you feel sexually stimulated. It can come from your TV, it can come from your Wi-Fi router, your cell phone, everything. But now we have direct proof. I'm going to put the Epstein number in the caption below. But
Whoa! Look at this. I ask it. It's here. Echo, Foxtrot, Tango, Alpha, 008047 5. Wow. Yeah, I heard there's sonars and everything. They were your phone, make pulsations, so they scan how your room is or where are you at.
what I'm doing is I'm getting parts this Saturday, and I'm going to attempt to build like a radio that should capture and parrot the signals that people get bombarded with, because that way the courts can take us seriously. But now we have direct proof that these weapons are in use today. So thank you for listening. Hey everybody. So I have finally received like direct confirmation through the Epstein files that there
Yeah,
are
hold on.
organizations.
Wait, hold on. I kind of believe that guy, man. Hold on. Let's see what it says here. Bruh. My phone could read my mind. Said, fucking knew it. My my phone could read my mind. And I fucking knew it. I will think of things and see ads for them after just thinking about but was afraid. I did sound crazy. Yes. Fucking if I Hey yo. I was watching my friend out though. Damn, it would be nice if I still made those buff puffs that I used to buy in high school. I did not search for them or talk about them to anyone. About 15 minutes later, I opened on Facebook and there was a BuzzFeed list about skincare buzz puffs. I haven't told anyone because I don't have time to be in 72-hour hole. I believe you. Yeah, I believe that, bro. They can do that with 5G, bro. We're frequency. We are anxious being with frequency. You know what I do with my phone? I mean, when my phone is sitting, I put it inside a sock. Inside a sock. But that sock is not just any sock. Is a sleeve to prevent, you know, um, to prevent you from having signal. So he blocks the signal. He blocks it. Not because that, bro. I'm not, bro. And I bet they're gonna start making Donald J. Trump guilty of this because I know they would have started trying to accuse him of everything. It's not because of him, but you just hear these issues. Who's behind it? You know, this is the things that you have to search. Unfortunately, departments are, they're there. It's whether you take it or not. And if you don't, just don't buy a phone then. Just don't buy a phone. So be cautious with your phone. You have to have righteous thoughts, be good, do good. Whether they're reading my mind, I hope they read it all good, bro. Because people really need it. And I'm gonna be thinking about it. You know? That travel, that deal. We will think about it.
This man claimed to be from a country that doesn't exist, and some people say his story could be proof of a parallel universe. In July of 1954, a businessman entered a Tokyo airport and was asked for his passport, which he then handed over. His passport said he was from a country named Torad, and it looked 100% legit and even had stamps from other countries. But the country of Torad doesn't exist. Trying to understand the situation, the customs officers brought out a map and had him point to where the country of Torad was, and he pointed right here. He pointed to the country we know of as Andorra, and this perplexed the man, and he said the map was wrong. And what's even crazier is that the man said he had flown from Torad to Tokyo many times in the past. Since security couldn't verify where this man was from, they detained him and put him in a hotel and put guards at the door. The guards never left the door, but the next morning the mysterious man, along with his belongings and passport, had disappeared. This man claimed to be from a country that doesn't exist, and some people say his story could be proof of a parallel universe. In July of 1954, a businessman entered a Tokyo airport and was asked for his passport, which he then handed over. His passport said he was from a country named Torad, and it looked 100% legit and even had stamps from other countries. But the country of Torad doesn't exist. Trying to understand the situation, the customs officers brought out a map and had him point to where the country of Torad was, and he pointed right here. He pointed to the country we know of as Andorra, and this perplexed the man, and he said the map was wrong. And what's even crazier is that the man said he had flown from Torad to Tokyo many times in the past. Since security couldn't verify where this man was from, they detained him and put him in a hotel and put guards at the door. The guards never left the door, but the next morning the mysterious man, along with his belongings and passport, had disappeared. This man claimed to be from a country that...
All right. So this story reminds me of the story. It's very similar. Let's say it's a parallel universe. Just imagine Earth, a different map, but people having normal lives in different realms, different densities. Wow. So this story reminds me to Sergei Ponomarenko. That's a guy from Kiev. I'm pretty sure it was from 1950s, something like that. And he went to grab a camera because he saw a bell. He said, "I took a picture. I went out with my girl, and they were like in their 20s, and they went out to picnic or a walk around. And when he took a picture, he vanished, and he appeared in 2001. He got detained. They brought him to a room. His clothes looked super from the era, and they even put a psychology. And then the psychologist started asking him questions because some people have disorders from being from another era, and sometimes it was well known as old souls, people who like things from older times. But no, his clothes, his his apparel was looking from the era, his passport, everything he said, everything, and he's documented. Man. I mean, there's a documentary about it, and he said that he appeared in that era where he took a picture with his old camera. Even they tried to take the pictures out of it, and they saw that it was a UFO with a bell shape was floating on the sky. So, and the psychologist said, "There's no way we can have these pictures to be printed because the ink or the chemical composition from that it would be, you know, vanish through time to take a picture of to reveal the pictures." So anyway, they brought him inside of the room where he has no way to escape because everything has metal bars from the outside, and the door was she had there was a girl guarding it. There was a security system there, even cameras. When he walked into the room, he disappeared, and they contact his girl from the era, and the girl, she was old and she was lonely. She was a loner. She said that she was very sad because, yeah, they remember that that was her man from the era. Doesn't explain it, but he technically he technically traveled to time, and then he went back to his time, but his girl was, old already. It's like, Interstellar when grandpa or father leave his child just to go to a space mission, and then he come back that everybody's old. That's crazy.
Behind this door, through this gate, and under these trees, The drone wasn't able to fly where we wanted it to go.
It keeps dropping signal.
There is a real and actual secret society, a group of the most powerful, wealthy men in the world going back over a century.
That is not a conspiracy no more. You're seeing it here. I didn't upload it. It's on TikTok.
Bohemian Club is an invite-only, men-only social club in San Francisco that's long been the center of conspiracy theory.
Have you been there for the ceremony with the cremation of care? I don't think that's something I need to talk to you about.
Especially surrounding their yearly encampments at Bohemian Grove. Allegedly meant for the ultra-powerful to just relax and bro out.
SEAL Team 6 came to Lakeside Talks. That's key.
This is where they would keep all of the sex workers during the Grove. Presidents, CEOs, bankers, lobbyists, Supreme Court justices, CIA directors, and those are just the people who've been disclosed already. The full membership is meant to be completely private. But investigative reporter Daniel Boguslaw reached out to More Perfect Union with something wild.
This is every member of Bohemian Club, and this is everyone who attended the 2023 summer encampment.
Even just the first few names I saw made me realize this is a story. Lots of people have already tried to enter the Grove or generally reveal its secrets, exposing the...
That was Alex Jones. Alex Jones, man.
Supposed occult rituals that go on inside.
Well, I'm Alex Jones, and I snuck in there in 2000.
But we wanted to know, what does any of this actually mean for the rest of us Americans who aren't part of this elite club? I get that they do weird rituals, but how is that my problem? So Dan and I went to California to investigate. We talked to workers from the Grove, a woman who has been protesting the Grove for nearly half a century and spent way too much time digging through old documents in hotel rooms. And what we found is almost scarier than any occult ritual. I know there's a lot of other stuff going on right now in the news, but investigating the Grove explains a lot of things that are broken in our economy and how the power structures of our country have empowered small groups of influential rich people who have been driving policy decisions behind closed doors for generations. And among many other things, we'll be reporting for the first time the involvement of a current senator.
There it is. Weedy spiders come not here.
Let's go back to 1872. The Bohemian Club was started as a hangout for local journalists before growing and admitting artists and intellectuals, and eventually admitting rich guys, because those other guys don't have any money. They could eventually afford this 6-story building on the edge of the Tenderloin. The building itself offers little information. Drawn blinds, no one coming in or out. But the club started hosting summer encampments in the NorCal Redwoods in 1878, eventually moving them to the massive Bohemian Grove. The encampment's secrecy and notorious rituals, like burning a giant effigy in tribute to an owl statue, they're really big on owls, have made the event a magnet for conspiracy theory. The list Dan acquired was for attendance at an encampment nearly 150 years later.
I went to the Bay. I found a guy who I knew would have the list. I kept showing up to his office until he finally agreed to give it to me. This is the original list of 2017 full membership list of everyone who's part of the club. Subsequently, I was able, through those connections, to get more and more, and that's where we got the 2023 Grove encampment.
And the list is massive, broken down into the smaller camps the members are split up into. But it's a totally overwhelming amount of information. Any name we researched was tied to something. So at first, it was hard for us to draw specific conclusions and connections. But then Dan got in touch with a source who put us on the right track.
We'd love to talk to you about the club there.
Be prepared because I've been archiving and it's cold out here. I have no heat, so come with a good jacket.
Mary Moore, who lives not too far from the Grove, has been protesting and researching it for decades, long before Alex Jones even got his public access show.
Somebody came up and gave me a membership list, knowing that I was an activist. So we used it to research who was making the profit. These are the guys that prefer to work behind the scenes as much as they can. My purpose back then was to make people in the movement understand all our issues are connected by who profits from them.
So what modern issues can we tie directly back to the Grove? What was literally planned at the Grove that affects us today? There's decades of information. Reagan and Nixon specifically loved sending letters about their favorite secret society. But a few things in particular stuck out.
This kind of got me thinking. Skip it.
There's a theory that we actually all did die in 2012. Have you ever heard of the everybody is dead theory?
All of us are dead? Or everyone?
No, everybody is dead theory.
I think
have
I
you heard
have,
about
but
that?
tell me.
So, you know how the world was supposed to end in like 2012?
2012.
Everybody was like, oh fuck, we're gonna die, right?
Yeah.
So, there's a theory that we actually all did die in 2012.
Yeah.
And life right now, right? You know how people say when they die, their life flashes before their eyes? But to them, it flashes and it's almost like they perceive time differently.
Oh, yeah.
So what if everybody died in 2012 and we're all experiencing life through a flash, right? But this flash feels like however long, 80 years, right?
Yeah.
But really, it's just happening within like a millisecond.
Within a millisecond, yeah. And then somebody's like presses the button and we just all wake up to nothing.
Yo, there's this crazy TikTok I saw too.
Okay.
So there's this lady, she was talking about how her dimensions actually changed. There's a theory that we actually all did die in 2020.
If these headphones look familiar to you, you might have been involved with a program when you were in elementary school called the GATE program. That is Gifted and Talented Education. And this was really popular in the 80s and 90s. Now, when I was in school, I remember getting hearing tests, which is what a lot of other kids supposedly say they were told and they were taken to the GATE program. It involved a lot of matching items like these, like matching shapes, remembering things to see like how good your memory was. And a lot of people said that they also took a drink beforehand and it was pink and it kind of looked like Pepto-Bismol. Here's a sheet from a girl on TikTok who said this was from the GATE program, and she had to kind of decode and figure out what the message was saying. The theory behind the GATE program was that this wasn't to test your hearing or to put you in a special program or see what type of accelerated learning you would do good in, that it was more done by the government to test if you had some type of psychic ability. And a lot of people think this is where the idea for the show Stranger Things came from, the GATE program, which a lot of people remember happening, but also don't remember too much about the specific testing process.
Look at her. She's saying some facts, yes. I think she's a Stranger Things fan, number one.
I don't remember being in the GATE program. I remember getting a hearing test. If that was what this was, I have no recollection other than a hearing test. If these headphones look familiar to you, you might have been
Mm-hmm. Come on.
I hope everybody knows by now that the fallen angels run our world. The earth is Satan's domain, and his fallen angels are at the top of the pyramid, if you will. Now, the book of Enoch, chapter 6, tells us that there were 200 of the leaders of these fallen angels. They met on Mount Hermon and they signed an agreement. At the very top of Mount Hermon, there's a building that says UN on the roof, but that's not for this video. Today, we're going to talk about the Palace of Peace and Reconciliation. This is located in Kazakhstan, and it is to represent all of the world's religious faiths. Now, this is a beautifully constructed building, and it's at the point of what looks to be a phoenix. Here's an aerial view. Everything in this city is futuristic. It's all kind of like symbolic looking. Across from it is the presidential palace, and there's more kind of like symbolic stuff. I can't say what that looks like, but it's all very futuristic. What's interesting is at the very top of the Palace of Peace and Reconciliation is a boardroom that has, guess how many seats? 200 seats. Could this be where the leaders of our world meet? Here's the inside of it.
Perhaps.
It is really odd to me. If you really sit back and think about, the fact that Satan does run our world, and it's real that fallen angels run our world. I mean, it is a real thing that demons take physical form and rule our world, and to be looking at, a place where they might all sit and meet.
Whether they are morphology is different than our physicality appearance. They do holograph themselves and they take form, like she said. They meet up here with world leaders, or as I can say it, because I know that that's a meeting for the world. What's going to happen?
It is kind of creepy. It's beautiful, though. Satan disguises himself as an angel of light. I hope everybody knows by now that the fallen angels run our.
It was banned. All right, bro. Sound is muted. See that?
Which is crazy. So this is actually thanks to a new study, but it discovered that there's conspiracy theories in the world, but we're going to keep going until we find the craziest one. A lot of people haven't heard about this one, but there's actually a conspiracy that a solar flare is what caused the Titanic to sink, which is crazy. So this is actually thanks to a new study, but it discovered that the northern hemisphere was actually experiencing a moderate to severe magnetic storm on the night of the ship's collision. So the conspiracy is that this storm could have affected the ship's radar and the radio rescue signals, so that's why it had crashed. There's a huge conspiracy called the NASA Blue Beam Project. This one's wild. Basically, this conspiracy says that NASA is planning on projecting giant 3D holograms of religious figures into the atmosphere to initiate a spiritual apocalypse. This one's wild. Hey, everybody knows what Area 51 is, but it wouldn't be a conspiracy video if we didn't talk about it. Obviously, you know the conspiracy. Area 51 is
Nobody will believe that.
at the Nellis Military Operations Area. This is what people don't believe. Obviously, as you do know, the conspiracy is that Area 51 is researching and experimenting on aliens and their spacecraft. I don't know what to believe. I'm staying silent. The government has officially come out and said that the facility is used to test experimental aircraft for the military. That's something the government would say. We're going to keep going until we find the craziest one, so make sure you add me and come back to me tomorrow. These are the scariest conspiracy theories in the world, but we're going to keep going until we find the craziest one. A lot of people haven't heard about this one, but there's actually a conspiracy that a solar flare is what caused the
There's a theory on Wednesday. You know the hand that walks by itself.
Yeah, that goes like this.
In the show, even in the Addams family, it's never said where the hand came from. She even says, I don't even know where it came from. It's just here. Like Wednesday and the Addams family is actually owned by the same studio that made this movie Evil Dead. There's a character named Ash. What happens? His hand gets possessed. So he chops it off and he replaces his hand with like a chainsaw.
Wow.
But his hand ends up walking away and killing somebody. That's the last we ever saw of the hand was in Evil Dead 2. The events of Evil Dead 2 took place in 1986. In Wednesday, she says she doesn't even know where it came from. If the events of the hand came about and the hand found its way to the family, it would have been before she was born.
And you can call me crazy if you want, but the world is not round. It is fucking flat. They tell you it in the Bible. And it says, and God made the firmament and divided the waters which were under the firmament from the waters which were above the firmament, and it was so.
As
and
above,
God
so below.
called the firmament heaven. And the evening and the morning were the second day. And God said, let the waters under the heaven be gathered together under one place. So let the dry land appear. And it was so. As above, so below. When you're looking at the sky, it's the water above the firmament. We have never been to the moon. There's no way you can get there.
Well, yeah, because I said NASA originally went on an ocean expedition. What did they find in the fucking ocean that made them go to outer space? As above, so below.
What? Look at the NASA
It's right
logo.
the fuck in front of us.
The red line that goes through the NASA logo is a fucking snake tongue. I forget what NASA means, but it means in some other language, it means to deceive or to lie.
That makes sense.
What language?
Yeah, the serpent's tongue, yeah.
The serpent's tongue, yes. When we were in school, they had the pull-down maps.
I remember those.
Yeah. But they weren't the same pull-down maps
they
you
weren't.
had. My pull-down maps showed land on the other side of Antarctica.
This other guy's copper mug is marked.
Oh, see, I don't think ours did. I
That's
don't
on
remember
the other side of the ice wall. We are not allowed on the other side of the ice wall. One man flew across the other side of the ice wall and they fucking killed him.
But talk about the 9 to 5 school and the prison system, please. My mom's been to prison.
The 9 to 5 school. The schools are set up like a prison system. You run it by bells. They ran us by bells. Each of us had our own job, or those of us that wanted to, at least get our GED, we could go to school or something. So we did it by bells, and it was time. And we got to go out the yard, like you get to go out to the playgrounds. And when we ate, we went to a lunch home. We stood in line and we got lunches on a tray, and we sat at a table. And you sat at the table in the line that you went in with. So if you went in line with your friend, you may or may not sit with your friend. They may have been at the table across from you because you had to sit at where you rode in line. So it's all designed by Rockefeller, and who come up with the idea of schools to keep lower class children from learning, basically, because they don't want us. They want the lower class to fight their wars, is what it is.
And then you can expand on that. The children who were high strung in school, like me, were told that we needed ADHD medicine to calm down. What the fuck did they do to us with that medicine? Is my question. Because I wasn't a hyper kid in school. I knew what they were saying was bullshit, and none of it sat right with me too. I was never comfortable in the school system. I never felt like I was getting the education that I needed. Yeah, they told us basic shit, but they never they obviously hid it for us.
Okay, so the flip side of it is that I did a lot of shit when I was younger.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I was a drug addict very early in my life, and I think that's why I wasn't programmed, because I wasn't paying attention. I was high. I was doing this. I was doing that. I was drinking. I wasn't going to school as much as everyone else, so I wasn't paying attention. I wasn't getting programmed because I was on drugs, and I wasn't paying attention to them. I didn't give a fuck.
Probably.
Makes sense. I didn't get programmed. Not only that, but I am Gen X, one of the last of the latchkey kids, which means I didn't have the technology that you have, and I didn't come home until the streetlights came on. I was towns and towns away. My granddad worked on the railroad. He was a lineman. He had a phone that looked like the receiver of an old telephone, and I could walk up to anybody's phone box and plug it in and make a phone call and get a ride anywhere. So technically, I had a cell phone before cell phones were invented. I just needed your telephone box to use it.
Yeah. Well, my mom's crazy, but she's not fucking insane,
Not stupid either.
Right? I don't know. There's a little bit of truth to everything, I guess.
And you can call me crazy if you want. But the world is not round. It is fucking flat.
10
unbelievable. Who was pulled? She was pulled to a camera from his grandson, and he said, "Please tell us how you been taught in 1920s that Earth was like." He said, "Well, it was flat." I'm like, bro, I don't know if you can look it up. I seen it in YouTube or something. That's crazy, man.
Conspiracy theories surrounding celebrity deaths. 10. Brittany Murphy died of pneumonia and anemia, but conspiracies suggest drug use, toxic mold, or even government involvement due to her support of whistleblower Julia Davis. 9. Paul Walker killed in a fiery car crash, but some claim he was silenced for uncovering corruption in Typhoon Haiyan relief efforts. 8. Robin Williams. Officially died by suicide in 2014, but theorists claim he was sacrificed by the Illuminati. 7. Richie Edwards. The Manic Street Preachers guitarist vanished in 1995. Though declared dead in 2008, many believe he faked his death and is still alive, with sightings reported globally. 6. Bob Marley. Some claim the CIA tried to assassinate Marley, first in a 1976 shooting and later by gifting cancer-laced shoes. 5. Lisa Left Eye Lopez. After accidentally killing a boy with her last name, she died days later in a crash captured on camera, fueling theories of a spiritual or cursed presence. 4. James Dean. Died in a 1955 car crash after 4 eerie warnings. His Porsche is said to be cursed, causing injuries and death even after the accident. Some blame witchcraft or black magic. 3. Whitney Houston. Some claim the Illuminati killed her as a fertility sacrifice to ensure the survival of Beyoncé's daughter, Blue Ivy. 2. Amy Winehouse. Died at 27, leading to speculation she was part of the infamous 27 Club conspiracy. 1. Buddy Holly, Richie Valens, and the Big Bopper. Killed in a 1959 plane crash. Theories range from a gunshot sabotaging the pilot to possible mechanical failure. 10. Unbelievable conspiracy theories.
Bro, man, that classic Richard Valens. All right, man. I guess I'm gonna step out of here because it's too late, and I keep munching pistachios and some corn, hey, Fritos. So I gotta go because this was really cool. Let's watch a couple more, and I'm gonna be leaving.
Scariest conspiracy theories in the world that will seriously change your life. So as we know, this photo right here shows all of the different conspiracy theories in the world, going from the least scary to, well, the scariest of the scary. So today, let's kick off part 6, where stuff gets even wilder. So if you're easily scared or easily confused, keep on scrolling, do not watch this series. If you're here for the long run though, let's go. So today we've got dream theory, often referred to as alternate perception. Now this is just messed up and really confusing, so stick with me. Right, so you know when you have a lucid dream where it's really believable and you feel everything? You can literally control what happens in your dreams. It may be like real life. You know, you may be doing things you do in your everyday life, whatever. And sometimes you wake up and think, was that a dream? That's really weird. The theory is that we're actually switched. Now, stay with me. Basically, the theory is that what we're in right now, what I'm talking to you, you're watching TikTok, whatever, this is actually the dream world. So we're all dreaming. When we go to sleep and dream, that's actually the real world. See what I mean? Done a little switcheroo in there. See what I mean? It's messed up and confusing. But if you think about it, we can control some of our dreams. So it is possible that that's another consciousness and another life. Hit that follow button so you never miss a part. Scariest conspiracy theories in the world that will seriously change your life. So as we know, this photo right here shows all of the different conspiracy theories in the world, going from the least scary to, well, the scariest of the scary. So today, let's kick off part 6, where stuff gets even wilder. So if you're easily scared or easily confused, keep on scrolling, do not watch this series. If you're here for the long run though, let's go. So today we've got dream theory.
Bro,
10. Unbelievable.
I'm pretty sure we finished all of them that it was popping up. Let's see. That was a nice one, man. Amy Winehouse, man. Oh my god. They said it's because she got overdose. Bruh. Oh, watch all this, man. Bruh. We need more here, brother. Hey, yo. See that one? Hey, yo.
Here are the conspiracy theories floating around TikTok this week. They're pretty wild, so sit down, get a drink, and take a minute. Number 1, Justin Bieber and Selena Gomez had a baby. They were given the option of sacrificing Selena or sacrificing the baby. They chose to sacrifice Selena. The baby was given to Kourtney Kardashian, and it is now affectionately known as Rain. Selena Gomez did die, and the person who is walking around as Selena Gomez is not Selena Gomez. That's all the information I have. I'm sure there's a lot more. Go down that rabbit hole. Number 2, a lot of people in Hollywood and politics have been involved in some sort of cannibalism. This week, we've called out Ellen DeGeneres. Now, I asked ChatGPT to confirm if that was in the Epstein files. They said they cannot confirm, but this has been going like all over the internet. So again, do your research. Number 3, remember when the aliens landed at the Miami Mall and there was like 1,000 cops that showed up and then we kind of like never heard about it again? Well, supposedly the coordinates of the Miami Mall are like some sort of reverse order or a tiny bit off from the coordinates of Antarctica. It is widely conspiracy theorized that Antarctica is where you can get away from the simulation that is Earth, and or where we keep and talk with extraterrestrials and aliens. So they landed at the Miami Mall by accident. They clearly should have been in Antarctica. Number 4, the day that Charlie Kirk died, a suspicious amount of young men were wearing maroon shirts on the UVU campus. Now, maroon is not a part of their campus colors. So what does that mean? Well, in the Epstein files, there is colors listed for special operation forces, meaning that the people who are part of a special operations force wear a certain color during that op so that they know like who's in on the op, okay? There are colors listed in the Epstein files, and there is one day where the color is redacted. That day is the day that Charlie Kirk died. And last but certainly not least, the government has the technology to know what we are thinking in our minds and serve us the ads and or information that we are thinking. I think a lot of us have like seen this and it's like really creepy, but someone said that it's like confirmed in some sort of way that they know what we're thinking. They serve us these ads again. And here's the creepiest part. They control what we do and don't see and our emotional reactions to them. There is a conspiracy theory going around that is why there has not been a larger emotional reaction to the Epstein files, because they are purposely suppressing it in our brains because of these waves. So if you're wondering how not to spiral, whether you should believe all this, don't listen to me. I believe some of them, not all of them. Certainly do your research. That's just what I heard.
Yes, do your research. But bro, there's two that got me. The one with the waves that read our minds. Bro. Look, it's like when you have a thought for something that you're craving, and then what you do? You manifest it. You go to the store and get the burger. Well, not me no more, because I don't know where that ground beef come from. But you want a chicken sandwich, and you go and buy it. So you got attracted to that. It's the same. And when you break up with somebody, and or you're away, that girl, she's thinking about you. It doesn't have to be with a girl. So somebody's thinking about you, and you're constantly thinking about that person, and he's attracted. Like, why? Why am I thinking about that person? That person is thinking about you. It's a connection, you know. It's a manifestation of what you know it is. So, well, you know, if they're reading your mind, they are, because most of devices they move by frequencies. Bluetooth, use the Bluetooth, moves by low frequencies. Use the Bluetooth, activates low frequencies. So it connects with other devices with the same low frequency. So don't you think that they could have the ability to read your frequency when you're vibrating in good thoughts? So whether it's true or not, I don't know. But I know we're anxious beings who vibrate depending on our perception. But if you're strong enough, you could develop a good mindset to vibrate. So you move all yourself. Anyway, and that was from Miami, bro. I want to listen to that one again. And I'm going to step out of here.
Here are the conspiracy theories floating around TikTok this week. They're pretty wild, so sit down, get a drink, and take a minute. Number 1, Justin Bieber and Selena Gomez had a baby. They were given the option of sacrificing Selena or sacrificing the baby. They chose to sacrifice Selena. The baby was given to Kourtney Kardashian, and it is now affectionately known as Rain. Selena Gomez did die, and the person who is walking around
She
as
looked
Selena
different.
Gomez is not Selena Gomez. That's all the information I have. I'm sure there's a lot more. Go down that rabbit hole. Number 2, a lot of people in Hollywood and politics have been involved in some sort of cannibalism. This week we've called out Ellen DeGeneres. Now I asked ChatGPT to confirm if that was in the Epstein files. They said they cannot confirm, but this has been going like all over the internet. So again, do your research. Number 3, remember when the aliens landed at the Miami Mall and there was like 1,000 cops that showed up and then we kind of like never heard about it again? Well, supposedly the coordinates of the Miami Mall are like so.
Bro, pay attention, because some spots of Earth they could be for trials. That's as far as I understood this. The Miami Mall coordinates are linked to the Antarctica. Come on.
Some sort of reverse order, a tiny bit off from the coordinates of Antarctica. It is widely conspiracy theorized that Antarctica is where you can get away from the simulation that is Earth, and or where we keep and talk with extraterrestrials and aliens. So they landed at the Miami Mall by accident. They clearly should have been in Antarctica. Number 4.
Bro. That's what happened. So imagine some ETs appearing somewhere. Oh yeah, let's go to uh South, the Arctica, and then just they activate whatever they had there, and they out of the sun. They like, oh shit, where we just landed. You know, this is Miami. What the heck? And everybody running like, eh. I remember I saw that, bro. I was just like, it's a big thing. It was a big thing. Actually, I'm gonna watch that, but I'm gonna step out. You watch that. Take care of yourself. I have to go. This is my hobby. We're all spending time here. If you want to watch this video, these reactions are there for you, my friend. We're gonna keep posting these videos because I spent a good time watching this video. If you want to look at these videos, go forward or backwards, you can do it anytime. I'm not asking you to subscribe because I do not monetize. This is just like a hobby time that I have. You know, it's a hobby, and you take care of yourself. Okay, eat good, do good, take care of yourself, stay out of the mess. Have righteous thoughts. I know it's very hard. It's very difficult to think about good things because there's a lot of bad things in this world that you do not want to think. You have to be strong. You have to be strong enough that if you believe the blood of Jesus Christ will embrace you and it will protect you. Okay? So do good all the time, no matter what. And honor the God that dwells within you. And also, not just that, in physical world, this physicality, when a house opens the door to you, be righteous. Do not break the laws. Because what happens when somebody gives you or allows you or welcomes you? If you do bad things in the house, you're gonna get out as soon as possible. Okay? So everything starts with your mind. And as much as you want to do it, everybody says different ways, but control your emotions. Once you control your emotions, you can think by your own mind and combine your mind with your heart. Bro, you're powerful. I mean, you will expand, you will contribute, you will help the world. You're not gonna be like those evil ones that they just think with low frequency. They use their lower chakra to just do not good things. Okay? So it was a good night. I'm gonna go to bed. Just I gotta get up early, take care of yourself once again, do the right thing. Always. Take care.